Here's an overdue quick review of the Infinity Saga Obadiah Stane and Iron Monger 2-pack. The Iron Monger is looking really awesome in the packaging, and the box is really big compared to the normal single-packed Marvel Legends figures. Here's the top, bottom, and the back of the box with the Iron Man 1 movie poster. The side of the box has the same picture as the rest of the Infinity Saga figures. Let's unbox this figure. On the in tray, you can really see the Iron Monger being so much bigger than Obadiah Stane, and the size is really good because you can imagine having someone this size being in this figure. The inner cardboard tray has all these symbols of different heroes, just like the other Infinity Saga figures. Let's get the figure out. Here are both of them out of the packaging. Let's check out Obadiah Stane. The figure comes with Tony Stark's arc reactor and also a suitcase. The suitcase is simply black in color completely, even on the inner side. There is a slight texture on the outer side, and it can be closed. That's it. And here's the arc reactor that Obadiah Stane pulled out from Tony Stark's chest. Quite a good sculpt to this arc reactor. The paintwork is decent, but it would have been great if the blue is more fluorescent looking. The arc reactor is too big to fit into the suitcase. He holds the briefcase and the arc reactor quite well. I don't really have much to say about the body mold. It is just a straight repaint of Nick. It is just a straight up repaint of Nick Fury. Even Nick Fury's head is more proportionate to the body than the Obadiah Stane head. The tie has a different paintwork. I think the printed design on it is done really well, and the shirt is striped at the front, but at the back is plain. The Obadiah Stane figure has the same pouch sculpted under the armpits, but it is unpainted. Same goes for the other side, and also the straps at the back. They are all sculpted but not painted. Both of them have the same problem of having the white paintwork bleeding onto the neck. This Nick Fury suited body is different from the previous suited body, which the 10th year anniversary Tony Stark was on, and also the Rhino Wave Chameleon. The whole body is totally different. You can see the creases here on the elbow is different from the previous suited body. Same goes for the creases on the other hand. They are different. And also the creases at the bottom of the pants. They are differently sculpted. You can also see the height difference between them. The Nick Fury body mold is slightly taller than the previous Marvel Legends suited body. One thing about these suited figures is that I've always find it difficult to make them stand. Do you guys face the problem as well? Because I really find the ankle difficult to position to get them to just stand like this. Next up, here's the Iron Monger, and he comes with plenty more accessories than Obadiah Stane. Here's a chain of bullets, an orange blast effect, and a smoke effect. A pair of open gripping hands, and lastly, some sort of mini missile launcher. All three of these effects attaches to the right arm. There's a hole here at the gun, so that's where you attach the smoke effect. The orange effect. Here's the hole for the bullets. The smoky effect also has a hole at the front if you want to attach the blast effect together with the smoky effect. And it will look something like this. For this weapon, you can attach it at the top part over here. You can just clip it on. And this missile can actually rotate. Another option is that you can actually attach it over here as well. There. But it's mostly meant for this top part over here. Here's the alternate open finger hands. The hands have 4 fingers, and there is a hinge joint at the back. Now, for the overall appearance of the figure, it's really looking awesome. There's plenty of details on this huge figure. The machinery sculpt on it is really good. Look at the arms and also the legs and the back as well. The whole figure is really awesome. The sculpt is really good. At the back, there's also some sort of mechanism which moves when you rotate the arms. You can see this thing coming in and out, and also this part rotating. But over on this side, this part actually came out from the tube, so I'll have to put it back in. Alright, there you go. Looks really good. One thing about this mechanism is that when you extend the arms too much to the front, it actually pops out. So yeah, I guess it doesn't really work well when you bring the arms too much forward. But from the front, you can't really see it anyways. You can hide this little stick here so that it doesn't look awkward or anything. The shoulder armor here also has very good mechanism. It is just simply hanging on the shoulder ball over here, so it doesn't restrict the movements of the arm. And it's actually made up of two different pieces. So the arm is able to rotate around and the shoulder armor doesn't look to be in an awkward position or anything. For the paintwork, although it doesn't look bad at all, it is mostly actually grey instead of metallic silver. There are some metallic silver parts actually, for example, on the arms area over here, or this part of the weapon. And this yellow-red paintwork actually looks really good. It really pops out on the silver. Metallic silver on the hips, and look at the sculpt over here, is really good. Metallic silver on the knee joint. And this part here. And also metallic silver on this ankle part over here. Here's the back of the knee joint. This is also silver. I think the paintwork would really be great if the whole figure has that metallic silver, just like these certain parts of the figure. The arc reactor also looks really good. There is a plastic cover at the front. You can kind of see the individual grooves inside of the arc reactor. Really looks good. And check out the sculpt at the bottom part of the torso. Here's the Iron Monger figure that we got from the movie series. You can see how incredibly smaller it is. Here's the Obadiah Stane figure. And definitely you can imagine this figure being in this bigger Iron Monger instead of the smaller one. This figure has been custom painted with weathered metallic silver. It's not me who did it. I bought it from someone. So yeah, it actually looks good. And the thing about this old Iron Monger figure is that it comes with a gimmick. If you press the legs, the torso is going to rotate. So this leg is kind of stuck. There's no rotation on the hip joint of this leg because that's where the mechanism is. The other one has some rotation. That's it. Just this swivel rotation. No other hip joints over there. Look at that. The hands actually move at each rotation. So the mechanism on the hips actually isn't working that well. There is a blue arc reactor variant for this figure. And also there is an open cockpit version which reveals a really tiny Obadiah Stane in the figure. I guess the new Iron Monger figure has a modified version of this hanging shoulder armor. I have to put this figure on a box to make it a bit higher. The sculpt on the torso is really similar. I guess the only difference is that there is two circular parts here instead of one on the new one. And of course the arc reactor is different in color. The sculpt of the arms are also really similar. You have the huge circular disc on both of the elbow area, and the gun is sculpted on this side with the circles just like the previous version. The new one is definitely looking better though. You can see the sculpted rivets on this center of the disc, unlike this one which is just the elbow peg. Same thing for the other side, very similar design, but the new one definitely looks better. And like I mentioned earlier, this yellow and red at the edge of these bullets or missiles really pops out over the silver. You can also see the similar triangular-ish sculpt and the two circular buttons on both of the figures. Here's the sculpt at the back. Somehow I feel the previous version kind of did it slightly better, or maybe it's just the metallic paintwork that makes the back look better. But definitely, this new mechanism on the new figure is really cool. The sculpt on this part of the torso is also the same. Here's the side of the leg. The sculpt on the new one is definitely better. You can see this circular thing over here, which is absent on the previous version. Oh yeah, from the side you can see the bullets on this gun, which is absent on the previous version. Here's a front view of the legs. The new one is definitely better with the inner sculpt on the thigh joint here. And here's the back. The knee and ankle joint really looks awesome from the back for the new figure. Overall, definitely the new one is 100 times better than this previous version. Here's a comparison with Mark 1 from the 10th year anniversary series and the Infinity Saga Mark 3. The new Mark 3 definitely sizes up well with the new Iron Monger, and we need a new better sized Mark 1. Here's a comparison with the 2-pack Comic Hulk and also BAF Smart Hulk. And here's a comparison with Hulkbuster. This 2-pack Hulkbuster is about the same height but definitely bigger sized than the Iron Monger. Articulation. The head is only able to rotate this much to the left and right because this circular area restricts the movement. Able to look up quite a decent amount and downwards a bit. Arms able to rotate all around, but like I said, this thing is going to come out. Bicep swivel. Single hinge elbow joint, giving this much range of movement. Swivel and hinge joint on both of the hands. It has a mid-torso ball joint which allows rotation and also moving forward and backwards this much. Legs can move sideways this much to the front, this much to the back. Thigh swivel, single hinge knee joint, and the legs is able to rotate up and down. It can also kind of pivot, but these two parts blocks the way. So the articulation isn't really that bad. It's quite decent for a big sized figure. In case you're wondering how the Obadiah Stane head looks like on the Iron Monger, let's just do a quick head swap. The pecs of both figures are actually the same size. Here's how the Iron Monger looks like with the Obadiah Stane head. I think it's kind of funny looking. Here's the Mark III beside it. This 2-pack is definitely awesome and mostly because of the Iron Monger figure. The Obadiah Stane is just another typical Marvel Legends suited figure. The head sculpt is really good but kind of undersized. But the Iron Monger figure, damn, the size is really good and the sculpt on it is really awesome. I just wish that it is more metallic silver throughout the whole figure instead of just certain parts. If you still haven't gotten this figure for your MCU collection, I think it might be kind of pricey by now. Definitely one that you should have if you are an MCU Marvel Legends collector. Thanks for watching. If my review helps, do consider hitting the subscribe button and check out my other review videos over here.